JJ, kind of starting in the first half, what did you see, not just from Gabe, but kind of from the whole unit, and how did they carry that through up until halftime when you were still, playing a lot of the veterans?
I thought we ran really well. Jackson did a great job of putting pressure on the rim. Vando, I think he ended up with six defensive rebounds in that first half, and every time he got it and pushed it, and it created a level of pace. I mean, the first play, Gabe comes off just on a simple zoom, but it was a lot of pace. That's how we were able to score against them at a really high level in that first half. The other thing, for majority of the game, I thought we did a good job of forcing them into the shots that we want to give up. They shot a lot of mid-range shots for much of the game.
And then the second half, I'm sure there's some expected struggles when you're going to play kind of that part of the roster against Dallas is playing still more of their second unit and third unit. But what would you have liked to have seen be a little bit crisper in that period?
To the fourth?
Yeah, but the end of the third, but yeah, mostly the fourth.
A level of toughness, but that wasn't there tonight. It's not. It's a lot to ask that group that was out there for most of the fourth to generate the shots. That's just the reality of who those guys are right now, and that's not an excuse for a lack of toughness, a lack of just on court. Hey, let's figure this out and play a little harder.
Friday is your last preseason game. Is the plan to have that be a dress rehearsal? And if so,
yeah.
What can we expect to see in terms of minutes and, I guess, the amount of players you will have in your rotation?
Yeah, again, plans change, but Luka's minutes will go up from last night. It was similar, I think, to how Jay did his minutes tonight with his rotation. We'll get those guys some normal rotation run through early parts of the fourth.
JJ, Gabe was unconscious to start the game, 5 threes in less than 4 minutes. What did you make of, I guess, not just his start to the game, but so far just his play through these first 5 preseason games, and him maybe looking more like a previous version of himself?
Yeah, he's been fantastic as like an on-ball guy. I mean, he's created advantages for us. I think his movement in early offense sets, and then his movement in our half court has been really good. I think he's pushing himself right now to just get in fantastic shape and be able to do that, sustain that for a longer period. That would be the goal for him. I believe he took a knee to the quad. Is that right? Yeah.
When you play, how beneficial is that to you guys? Because he seems to be such a versatile offensive player and position player. How will that help you guys go?
He can be a really impactful guy on both ends. You can see he's moving better than he was last season. You can clearly tell that he's spent a lot of time working on his game this summer. I know he spent a lot of time with JJ Redick, who was one of my coaches in New Orleans. I said this a lot early in the preseason. I put him in a tough spot last year by necessity of playing him at the 5, and having him be able to guard multiple positions on the perimeter and be a crasher and hopefully a high-level corner spacer and a cutter. You got a corner cut tonight against their zone. He can do a lot, and I like him as a playmaker. He can make the right read, and I thought he did a good job tonight pushing pace.
JJ, obviously, it's just preseason, but I believe your first game coaching with Cooper Flagg on the floor. What were your impressions of him, and does his game, is it similar to anyone, remind you of anybody?
No, it doesn't. To be honest with you, it doesn't. He doesn't really remind me of anybody. I know the Grant Hill comparison's getting thrown out a lot right now, but Cooper's his own special player, and I think his defensive instincts and playmaking ability far exceed most 18-year-olds, and he's a worker, and I expect he'll develop into a really good shooter. But those are the two things that just stand out right away. He just has such a good feel for the game. And I talked to pregame, I don't know if you were in here, just about his competitive edge, but his defensive instincts and playmaking really stand out.